I think it's really helpful for videos to have a narrative arc, to have a sort of a beginning and a middle and an end that's going to lead into whatever it is you're going to discuss in the classroom. So it's not really an end, it's almost a hook into what happens in the classroom, and that kind of is the end. But honestly, I don't think that that's a feature that's unique to videos. I think that that's something that's good in the classroom no matter what. And when I'm creating a lecture, I always go back to some teacher training that I had when I was in the Peace Corps. I had some formal teacher training, which was just invaluable to me and still has stayed with me. It was this introduction to the concept of the Kolb cycle, Kolb learning cycle, and there's other ways to phrase this. It all comes back to the same idea, which is you have to connect information to something recognizable to the students, that we start with some kind of experience. Maybe it's an experience that the students have. At least it's an experience that students can recognize, something out in the real world. Maybe it's a problem that needs to be solved that students can connect with. And then, okay, once we've set up this problem, and they know that there is going to be relevance and meaning in what we're going to discuss, then we go through collecting knowledge. In the Kolb cycle, that's called observation. So you go from concrete experience to observation. Now that could be making observations yourself, or it could be just learning the knowledge, learning the facts that undergird the concept that you're about to teach. And that's where the video does really, really well, really on both of those points. Setting up a problem, you can show a YouTube video, you can show a series of slides or pictures or images. You can ask them to imagine something or even pause for a moment and write down a personal reflection. And then we can go through the knowledge that is really just the dry lecture stuff that could be done at any time in the classroom or outside the classroom. Then the next step in the Kolb cycle is to reflect, which can mean a lot of things depending on the discipline and the topic. But for me, it means to sort of critically analyze the problem and put the problem into a more abstract or theoretical state that can inform our understanding about it. And some of that is done for me in the video, and then some of that can also bleed into the classroom with a case study. I teach biology, so case studies are a big part of what we do. With a case study or a particular problem, the genetics problem or something like that that they solve in the class. And then the last step in the Kolb cycle is the action. And the action in classic Kolb cycle is conduct an experiment. And sometimes in class, that's exactly what we do. We conduct an experiment to test or illustrate that principle that we were talking about. Or it could be, furthering along a case study or looking at actual results from a real world problem, back to the beginning, back to that problem. Which of these solutions that's actually really been tried worked the best? And using our theoretical abstract knowledge, why?